And we're looking at my Savage Model 93 and 22 Magnum. And behind it, Ruger Single 6, I believe with about a 6-inch barrel in 22 Magnum. Quick shout out to Tommy Parker that made the holster for it. And the little rifle is wearing a Bushnell 3x9x32 scope. I normally do not use Bushnell scopes on my big rifles. They don't hold up. I prefer Leopold, Redfield, Nikon, but the Bushnell will work fine on 22 and 22 Magnum. The reason I got the 22 Magnum in the Model 93 Savage was it was a good quality bolt action firearm, and it was made in left-handed actions. That's always a limiting factor with me. My other option would have been go with a semi-automatic. Well, there's not many of them made, and given the pressures differences in different loads for 22 Magnum, sometimes it's hard to find ammunition that'll cycle reliably. The other option would have been a lever gun, and they are scarce as well and expensive when you do find them. The purpose of this video is to talk about the cartridge, though. And the Magnum pistol and the Magnum rifle work fine as companion guns. But this little fella right here, the cartridge, is what we want to focus on. A lot of times I use the Winchester hollow points. The 22 Magnum is also available in soft point ammunition and solid, just regular round nose ammunition. The 22 Magnum is not a legal deer cartridge here in Florida. That being said, that does not mean a lot of them have been shot after hours and out of season with it. And I hope nobody that's watching this takes that as me incriminating myself. Where the little Magnum does shine is as a pest gun. Excellent little turkey round. Legal to shoot those with it. You can shoot hogs with it because they're not a game animal. And even small game with it if you're selective with your loads. If we look here, we see that the 22 Magnum is a rimfire. That's what makes it illegal as a deer cartridge in Florida. 22 Hornet, which there's not really much difference ballistically, it's a centerfire cartridge and is legal. However, while rifles and 22 Hornet are fairly easy to find, pistols are not. So if you want a companion setup, this is a good way to go. With these little hollow points, you can shoot all kinds of pests, from snakes, coyotes, all kinds of critters that don't need to be around the house or around the homestead or the farm or wherever you reside or wherever you're at. With solid bullets, you can shoot small game, squirrels, rabbits. I did find out that shooting squirrels with these 22 hollow points is not the best idea because you damage a lot of meat unless you head shoot them. And even then, it's messy. Shortly after I'd bought the little bolt action rifle, we'd been having coyote problems down here around the camp. And one of them, when I was coming down the road, thought he was a safe distance from me. He was about 250 yards, walking down a road, straight road, and he thought he was out of danger. he made the mistake of turning around and looking back at me. That's when I planted one of these little fellas right between his eyes. And that was, I don't know, 5-6 years ago. And I've used this to take care of various pests that have outstayed their welcome around the camp a long time. And it's a remarkably versatile little cartridge. You can have your rifle and your pistol, put a handful of shells in your pocket. You can usually put about 50 shells in a pocket of a pair of jeans and be fairly comfortable with them. Have plenty of ammunition to do whatever you need to do. So looking at it, it would be an excellent little survival round. Good pest gun. If you're in one of the areas where you can legally shoot deer with it, it would be a decent big game gun. Small game, medium game. Great little cartridge and remarkably versatile. The only drawback to it is you're stuck with factory ammunition and you're dependent on that supply. Whereas with other cartridges I have the option to hand load for them. And then I don't really have to worry about factory-made ammunition. That being said, this ammunition is normally reasonably inexpensive, so you can have a pretty decent supply of it on hand to last you through hard times. And that's about all I have to say about that. Good little cartridge, good little setup. You can get you a lot of mileage out of it. Later on.